And welcome to BorgcasTAS, as he's written it. The new Spanish dish. No, sorry. Hello, friend, and welcome to Borgcast, the animated series 1.8, with Anne-Marie, Peter, and a very snory Lila.
Yeah, just to pull back the curtain a bit, we've had a long day, all three of us, dealing with a film crew, which was fun, but exhausting. And the reason why Lila was involved as well, because it's a doggy program. Dogs behaving very badly came to our church, which meant pet service, lots of interviews, lots of retakes.
And in her case, a lot of barking.
Yeah, an awful lot of barking. So she has worn herself out, bless her. We're hoping that it might help her going forwards, though, so it's a worthwhile investment. But yeah, I hadn't quite realised just how exhausting working on TV is. So probably not the career for me. At least not combining being a priest as well at the same time, I think. I don't know how Richard Coles does it, but there we are. So if we, basically, the reason for explaining that is if we seem a little bit sluggish, off pace, spaced out than we normally are. You know why.
Yeah. And that's also why she's particularly
snory. Yeah.
We have some previously on from One of Our Planets is Missing. And Christian Ore writes that Murray's email made him imagine the following scene. Garak, my dear doctor, all the stories are canon. Dr. Bashir, even the balls? Garak, especially the balls.
We are very much enjoying our rewatch of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
We're just, I think, probably coming to the end of season 4, I think.
I think so. We had the one with the Mirror Universe where the Worf as Regent has got Garak on a chain.
Yes. Oh, my life.
That
was one
stupid
of the better
Klingon
ones.
who finds the key in his boot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, we'll be talking about Mud's Passion today, though. Yeah, Take a Deep Breath. Written by Stephen Candell. First of 2 animated series episodes written by him. He also wrote Mud's Women and I Mud. Can you detect a pattern developing here?
Yes.
Yes, via Lila, we can. He also wrote 17 episodes of MacGyver, 6 episodes of Mission Impossible, plus one of the 1989 remake, 5 episodes of 60s Batman, 5 Wonder Womans, 4 Hawaii 5-0s, a couple of episodes of Ironside, a $6 Million Man's, and an episode of The Littlest Hobo.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend.
Yeah.
So...
It's the littlest Snoro in our case.
Yeah.
Harry, darling, I was lonely for you.
Behold! I placed a single drop of this miracle substance on myself, then simply touched this young lady.
Please, darling, come back to the ship with me.
How much?
300 credits, or the...
300?
A bargain, sir. True love is worth any price.
Do you have a captain's log? Approaching Arcades, and they're saying, is Mud down there? Is he probably down there? And Spock's like, it's 80% he's down there. And it's like, why didn't you say he's probably down there? And it's like, I just did. And he's trying to sell Love Potion to derpy miners.
Yes, on the planet Motherlode. Oh. Really? That's a bit like calling a planet that does loads of brewing piss up, isn't it, really? Yeah. Still got some interesting aliens on our hands.
Yeah, we got the sort of dog ones.
The Hair Bear Bunch, yes. Apparently they're Ursinoids, which is hardly an imaginative name for bear-like beings, is it? But never mind. The female one is voiced by...
Majel Barrett?
No.
Nichelle Nichols?
Her one line in this, because there's no Uhura.
Oh, Uhura.
Uhura. I always end up pronouncing like that, yes, particularly when I'm tired. Uhura, even. So that's a bit weird. And to give her you wouldn't know it, to be honest, unless I read the credits. I was like, really? That was Nichelle Nichols? But okay. The male one, you could probably guess who voiced that one. Mm-hmm. And they're showing this from a weird Dutch angle as well, which I like, but it's kind of a surprise for a kid's TV cartoon, but cool.
So I didn't realise they were bears.
Yeah, well, they're bear-like things. They're not bears.
I thought they were more sort of foxy wolf things.
Foxy wolf. Oh, yeah. No, they're definitely supposed to be bear-like beings. The animation, maybe not the greatest, but there you go.
Okay.
They are weird, though.
Yeah.
They mostly just stand there with their mouths agape.
Yeah.
But then again, that's true of the humans there as well.
Yeah, that's true. And there was one particular human looked especially derpy.
Yeah. And Mud once more is played by Roger C. Carmel, so it's authentic then. Oh, good.
Yeah. I like the way they've animated his scrape over.
Yes, there's no buttering him up in animation, is there?
No.
I like the animation. I mean, it does look. Oh yeah, that's Harry Mudd, all right. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he's selling Love Potion, and
which he describes as a magical liquid, except it's clearly not a liquid.
It's a crystal.
Crystals, so that's a bit weird. Nobody told the animator at this point, presumably.
Well, a bit later he says you break it down and it becomes a liquid.
Yeah, and he does later on describe it as crystals. So I think just the script needed another pass.
Probably.
But there you go. It's a cheapo animated series. What you expect?
And he proves it works.
Oh God, this is stupid.
Oh, it's really stupid. But anyway, we'll come on to this. He proves it works by saying he's just used it on She-Ra. He doesn't call her
she's back.
She-Ra, but it's clearly She-Ra. And she says, "Come back, my love. Come back, my darling, to my ship."
Are we thinking this is appropriate for a kiddies animation show? By the way, this seems a really weird.
Well, I think the reason why you get that really fucked up dancing when they should be working the transporters is because it's a kiddie show.
Yeah,
And
I think that's fair.
they don't show what they were really doing. They just do totally fucked up dancing.
Yeah, and was it Doctor Who that did that thing where dancing stood for boinking? I think it was.
Okay.
The Doctor dances, possibly. I can't remember. But anyway, so much of New Who has just passed straight out of my memory.
Yeah.
Hey ho.
Anyway.
But yeah, carry on. The stupidity hasn't hit us yet.
No, so I think She-Ra's voiced by Majel Barrett.
I think you're right.
And it was I Was Lonely for You. Right. Then, so you've got Kirk and Spock, and they said they've come to arrest him, and he's like, no, this is the planet Motherlode. I mean, for fuck's sake. Anyway, may as well just say this is the planet Spunk, I don't know.
No, it's a mining planet, so it's got to be called Motherlode.
Because I'm used to Motherlode being a euphemism.
Oh, right, no, I'm used to Motherlode in a mining context, because I don't watch that sort of porn.
I don't think I watch anything about mining.
There you go, you see, you're missing out.
Clearly.
It's always very deep. I'm tired. What are you going to do?
Anyway, he says, "Oh, welcome to the ineluctable Mr. What the fuck was it?
Mr. Ineluctable Mr. Spock, yes.
What's an ineluctable?
Apparently it means, and I did have to Google this because I'd never heard of it before. Maybe it was a word used a lot in the 70s. Not anymore, I think you'll find. It means unable to be resisted or avoided.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And he says that Motherlode is not part of the Federation, so, you know, we've got a Federation warrant or whatever, it isn't going to work here. And then I'll come on to the stupid in a minute. What happens is Spock shows that She-Ra is an illusion. And so, therefore, when they say, you could come with, because all the derpy miners are really angry, he elects to come with. The way, this is the stupid that makes, the way that Spock shows its illusion is by firing a phaser, and what had been She-Ra is some kind of fucked up pink lizard.
Yeah.
So he used a love potion on a pink lizard that now loves him?
I mean, it's just so weird, isn't it? Because, let's face it, he thinks it doesn't actually work. Okay, so he's selling what he thinks is a con job.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. So he could just pay an actress to be there and pretend to be in love with him. Why the hell does he have to find a hypnotic... what did he call it? A Rigelian hypnoid.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, it's basically Hypnotoad, isn't it?
It is. But it's got too many legs for that. And it's pink, because of course it's pink.
And it looks like it's been trodden on by somebody.
It does. It's just, it looks like a really... You know, like if you asked a 5-year-old to draw a dinosaur?
Yeah.
That's what kind of thing you'd get.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-year-old drawing of a dinosaur coloured pink, which, to be fair,
When I said the animation was very good in this, I was talking about the human beings.
Yeah, not
very
this.
much the human beings, nothing else here.
But also, they have holo technology. Couldn't
Yeah.
she have been a hologram? What did he do to a lizard to make it appear to be a human and talk? Why did it need the lizard?
It's just so bizarre.
So utterly fucked up. And as I said, is the lizard now really passionate about him?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
No.
It's a lounge lizard, so maybe. And the other stupid thing is that all the miners start throwing rocks, which magically don't hit him. They go all around the outside of him. One of them draws a phaser but never fires it because there's just rocks being... It's bizarre, this bit.
Yeah. I mean, personal shield's a thing?
Don't think so, no.
Because if he had a personal
Only
shield...
for godlike human beings, which Harry Muddy's not one of those rarities in the original series.
Also, I mean, I'm not being funny, but if I was a godlike human being, I would not have a scrape over.
No, I think it wouldn't be my first choice, but... Unless I wanted to disguise myself.
Yeah, no, even then.
As a chemistry teacher or something.
No.
Apologies to any chemistry teachers out there. That's what they looked like back in my day, anyway.
I'm trying to think what. No, our chemistry teacher was mad.
They usually were.
He was called Dr. Frankham, and we used to call him Dr. Frankenstein.
Naturally.
And he used to pick stuff up, and then he would say things like, be very careful of this, it's carcinogenic, and then rub it all over his hands. And his hands, I mean, I don't think he died of cancer, to be fair to him, but his hands were permanently a sort of... Bearing in mind he was a very pale white man, his hands were brown.
Yeah, you're probably a heavy smoker, and which most teachers were back in the day. You ever walk into the staff room, you could not see a hand in front of your face, because they all smoked like chimneys, and they all had yellow fingers as a result.
No, these were brown fingers.
And my chemistry teacher had, I think it was like an auburn beard, but he'd stained it deeper brown round his lips through cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still better than the physics teacher we had, who had a broken nose, a result of doing an experiment involving momentum and a brick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then in order to stop the miners coming after them, Spock basically uses his phaser to tear up the tarmac. I'm surprised they're not sued for this or something. Yeah. But in animation fail again, all the miners are just shown in shadow behind it, and they're not moving, their hands are in the air, but they're completely static. It's bizarre.
Very odd.
Very poor.
Unless, there's something else going on that we can't see with a loved up pink lizard.
Indeed. Don't want to think about that.
Yeah. So then they're speaking to Harry and they're saying, we left you on the robot planet. Why weren't you there? And
nice continuity.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, it's the same writer, so you'd expect it. But yeah, good.
And basically, he says borrowed, but basically he nicked a ship and went to another planet. Where Spock says he basically sold Starfleet Academy to them.
Yeah, it's a bit like selling London Bridge or something.
I think so, yeah. And then he moved on to another one, and he clearly stole the love potion, or swindled it from the...
he even says swindled, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he says it works. And then he tries to get Chapel to take it, and initially she doesn't believe him, that would be good. But then she does believe in and takes some, and apparently it's a very specifically heterosexual love potion as well.
Yeah.
Because if it's from 2 men or 2 women, they are nice friends.
Yes.
It's only with opposite sexes that it has another... How?
Wow. It is, as you say, a very specific love potion.
Just, yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't take much for Chapel to imagine Spock in love with her, according to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
They've been dating, so... this isn't the animated series' fault. This is the fault of Strange New Worlds, but hey.
Yeah, but I mean, this episode is the fault of the animated series.
Well, this animated series would work very well in Strange New Worlds. I think it has to be said, particularly with what happens with Spock later on.
Except that in Strange New Worlds, it's not... This is particularly badly written for Chapel, as though she's sort of...
An idiot?
Yeah.
She's not an idiot in Strange New Worlds. I'll
Yeah,
grant
do you
that,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, she does come across as a massive idiot in this.
Yeah, she really does
gullible,
seem... Yes.
slow.
Yeah. So I get...
Sad.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the relationship thing. I'm not disagreeing with that, but...
I mean, let's face it, in Strange New Worlds, Spock falls in love at the drop of a hat. So he's what, on his fourth relationship? I lose track.
Oh,
now.
I don't know.
Ridiculous. But anyway.
But
That's a discussion for another day.
it is. But in terms of this episode, I really don't like the way Chapel is written. She is.
I don't like the way Spock is written either, but at least he's under the fluence, whereas she isn't at this
No,
point. So.
and she's just stupid. I don't like it. It might fit with other animated series episodes, but to me it doesn't fit with the Chapel we have in the original series.
Well, we barely see anything of Chapel in the original series, to be fair.
But she seems mostly sensible.
She never came across as this much of an idiot,
No,
I'll grant you.
no. Now, initially she says she's going to take it to analyse it, but then that's when you find out that it's like, oh no, that will ruin it. You've got to break it and rub the liquid in. And apparently she has to touch Spock for it to work. Mm-hmm. And then they are heading towards an M-class planet that's got binary suns. So that's worthy of study. So off they go to investigate it. And then as a result of... This doesn't seem to involve a lizard, so clearly his machine doesn't require lizards. But he's done another illusion thing again, where he gave the impression of being inside the cell. And she says, you've got to go back in the cell. But he wasn't outside and now he is.
That was weird, yeah.
But that was just a machine. He didn't need a pink lizard. So why did he need a pink lizard for the other
I
illusion?
don't know.
So he gains access to what I think is the ship's main computer, because he prints himself an ID card that says Chapel on it but has his face.
Yeah.
Just bizarre.
That bit feels very low tech, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like ID card produced much the same way as perhaps you would today.
Yeah. So then Chapel goes over to see Spock and sort of touches him, and there's no response. And then, like, you know, she feels like she's made to feel an idiot. And initially, you know, he's like not having any reaction, but then he ends up says, "Oh, this report is from Nurse Chapel. Oh, lovely report. Oh, lovely Chapel." Oh,
Nurse Chapel's sweet summary. I've never heard it called that before, but okay.
In an English country garden.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how Nimoy felt about delivering this dialogue, but I can't help feeling he probably had words with his agent afterwards. Also, by the way, all the way through this, do you notice that Shatner is clearly just delivering his lines over a telephone, and pretty unemotionally as well.
Yeah.
He's already lost interest in this project, unfortunately. There's even one point he delivers a line, you hear him go,
"We're interested in you, Harry, for fraud, illegal drug manufacture, and swindling."
and then do the line. It's like, surely you cut out the intake of breath beforehand that shows how bored your actor is.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to Spock, he goes up to the bridge and he gets Kirk and Doctor's attention and says, "I'm feeling emotions." They're like, "What?"
I'm in love. It's like, hey.
And then meanwhile, Chapel is really angry and she finds Mud. And to be fair, this bit's good because she clobbers him.
Yep, got good hand-to-hand skills.
And this is not someone doing it for her. This is her doing it for herself. She's got some agency, so that bit's good. And she takes the zappery thing.
The phaser.
Yes.
It's one of those little hand phasers, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was a phaser or it was his illusion box that she
No,
took.
it's a hand phaser, and it's because that's what he uses to break out the prison as well. But it's not very well animated until it is in some angles and not in others. It's weird, and it's too big as well. It's the other problem. But anyway, Chapel threatens Mud with the phaser. He claims the potion will take longer with an unemotional Vulcan and offers her more crystals. Sadly, she's not quick off the mark with the phaser, and he overpowers her. Boo! He takes a 3-type shuttle, which is a weird way of describing it, but that's what it is, apparently. And it was described in the animation notes as being an armoured landing craft. I mean, all credit for them for doing different designs of shuttle. When you look in the shuttle bay, there's at least 3 different designs there. They don't get these ones don't get names like the Class Fs that we've seen up till now, like the Copernicus and all that. Spot reacts to his love being taken by Mud, and we get reaction shots of the bridge crew, including Arek's wolf whistling. Which, okay, that's weird. There are more reactions on the bridge when Spock demands to go after his love, including from Emrys, who smells something coming in through the aircon, and we see Scotty starting to get affected. McCoy updates Kirk on developments, including other members of the crew getting affected by the gas from the crystals. It now appears to affect women, as Emrys and Scotty have hugs, which, where's this going? And Arek starts playing love ballads on some weird 3-armed violin thing, lute.
I don't know. It's
bizarre.
green.
Oh, and Pringle's Mr. Kyle is on the bridge at this point
Yeah.
as well, which is okay, because I think he did appear on the bridge once or twice in the original series. Anyway, Mud and Chapel land on an unnamed planet, which is a desert, inhabited by giant rock beasts.
Jason. I don't think the pig lizard was Gorgnak.
Oh, darn.
Or more likely, Mudzilla. Ba-ba-da, it's Mudzilla.
And Madzuki.
Thankfully, there is no Mudzuki. They don't descend to those awful levels. But that wasn't this company, was it? It was Filmation. It was Hanna-Barbera that did. Yeah. I do like the free-eyed design, but they do look odd.
They look better than the pink lizard.
They do look, but anything looks better than the pink lizard.
They looked a bit like marine iguanas, which are very scaly, look sort of rock-ish, if you see what I mean. So I think they were
drawn by a 5-year-old, unfortunately.
They look like rock monsters that are sort of also somehow reptiles, if that makes sense. Or rock dinosaurs, I suppose.
Yeah, rock dinosaurs. Oh, man. T-Rex with a guitar. Actually, T-Rex can play guitar, could it? Beaming down, Kirk and Spock share a hug, which is more ammunition for the Spurk shippers.
Oh, of course, you have to call it Spurk, because otherwise it'd be cock, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, you just realised that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's taken me, I don't know how many years to get this one. Oh, God.
Amusingly, Kirk calls for emergency beam out to escape the Grignac, but the transporter crew on duty are having a classy dance.
It's not classy. It's so silly. The way the movement's so jerky, it's ridiculous and bonkers. It's clearly a euphemism for what they're really doing as well.
I don't know. But anyway,
it is. Come on.
It's fun.
It's silly.
Spock realises they're under the fluence, and Muds is surprised that it actually worked. McCoy's chatting up a young crew member again. I mean, he did that in the original series as well. On the bridge, the potion is wearing off, giving Scotty his worst hangover ever. Annoyed he didn't get any scotch to bring it on, which is a nice touch. Kirk feeds the last of the crystals the Grignacks, who don't make love with one another, they rather fight each other. Then he does one of his signature rolls to escape them, which is nice.
See, I was initially thinking he's given them to the rock monster. Now, if the rock monster touches him, does it? Do we know the gender of the rock monster? Is the rock monster going to want to hump him?
Don't know. I assumed it was to set the two, to make the two rock monsters love each other and distract them. But no, they go straight for the fighting.
Well, maybe that's how maybe they're slightly Cardassian, and that's how they do courtship.
Kirk at this point appears in one scene in a red shirt, which doesn't bode well for him, does it?
No.
Thankfully, it's just another animation glitch.
It's not that he's bled all over it.
No. Chapel yells at Spock because apparently it makes you go from love to hate, which I guess explains the Rockzillas fighting each other, but they didn't go through the love phase.
No.
Mud is facing some rehabilitation therapy and says he will miss his loved ones on the Enterprise, which is a bit of a naff ending, but nowhere near as naff as most of the original series endings.
Yeah.
So I ask you, Anne-Marie, cannonballs or Spock's balls?
Rock on, Tommy, you'll do for me.
I think this is Spock's balls. Because it has to be canon, because it so fits with Mud.
It does, yes.
But it's got the what the fuck is the pink lizard illusion in it, and also the way Chapel is written is not good. So it's Spock's balls.
Yeah. I mean, Mud is very in character for behaving like
Mud.
Yeah.
And the animation style as well of the people, not the fucked up lizard. Of the people is canon as well, if you see what I mean, in terms of the way that they're behaving. So you can't say it's not canon. No,
although Mud is the last returning character in the animated series, so we may be departing from canon going forwards. We don't know, but anyway.
Well, I mean, it's not just about continuity with character; it's other stuff as well.
Like if it's in continuity, then it's canon. That's the point.
Yeah, it has to be. But Pink Lizard, yeah,
She-Ra thing,
no, it's
weird.
Yeah, no, it's because that started off being Spock's brain cannon, didn't it? And then somehow I mangled it into Spock's balls.
Yes, and Spock's balls is easier to say than Spock's brain cannon, so we're going with Spock's balls.
Spock's balls.
Just to explain the system.
Yeah, sorry. Me being when I'm tired, I mangle things. That's how Purry got his name, because he was Pie Man, and his actual name is Murray, and I just merged the two and called him Purry, and it kind of stuck.
There we go. Things evolve over time. We've heard from Jeffrey Mark-Hyman. Poor Nurse Chapel is not served well in this episode.
You are not wrong.
But the whole thing is too silly for me to get too mad at it. Actually, it would fit in pretty well in Strange New World Season 3. You're not wrong. I don't know whether that's a good thing, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
We've heard from the God of Llamas.
Longslug, Slutty, Fixie-Quirk, Noi, Shirjik. I wanna hold you, but I'd better not touch. Now, this episode was very disappointing. Right at the start, they promised us some heavy metal. Where was the heavy metal during this episode? I didn't see any of that at all. Very, very disappointing, especially given this was the 70s. I mean, not only that, but it's heavy metal miners. I was expecting an appearance from Winvos singing Diggy Diggy Hole, some dwarf metal or... No, okay, I completely got the end of the stick there, haven't I? Completely got the end of the stick. But, yes, this story, it's a hardcore Fenton Mud story, so I wasn't expecting great things. And, to be honest, it wasn't actually as painful as I was expecting. I mean, sure, the whole love potion aspects of the story, the whole thing the plot revolves around, is pretty vile, really, because it's essentially making people fall for each other without the other person's consent, so that's basically assault. So they've got a potion of assault here, so yeah, that's wonderful, loving that, that's a great little thing. But hey, it was the 70s, different time, wasn't it? And also the potion itself is queerphobic, because it can only make men love women and women love men. Yeah, again, it was the 70s, yeah, anyway. Guess this is the episode that Rick Berman looked to for inspiration. But at least in the episode itself, the potion actually isn't seen as being a good thing. It is actually seen as being quite a dodgy thing, so at least the Enterprise crew aren't laughingly going along with Mud going, yeah, this would be okay if only it was someone else that wasn't you using it. So there is that side to it, at least. And I guess it did help that I went into this episode with really low expectations, so it kind of wasn't difficult to get over those and do something that wasn't at least incredibly offensive. Of course, one of the problems is that most of the plot revolves around one of the Enterprise crew being an absolute fucking idiot, and I'm not really a fan of the idiots on a spaceship kind of trope. And it is a bit disappointing that it's Chapel. I guess if you've been watching just the original series at this point, then it would have been quite out of character of her, really. But having now seen Strange New World, something good that prequel series has brought to this is that this at least now aligns with Strange New Worlds, in which Christine Chapel is indeed a bit of an idiot when it comes to things, especially love. So yeah, I guess this at least tracks from that point of view. The ultimate danger of the plot, where they end up trapped on a planet with fighting rock monsters while the crew of the Enterprise are too horny to actually do anything about it, is, it's faintly ridiculous, but, giant rock monsters is at least a Filmation staple, or become a Filmation staple in the He-Man era. So, I'll forgive that anyway. And, it's just a bit daft, and at least giant rock monsters, again, they're doing something you wouldn't do in live action, so yeah, I guess that's okay, I guess. One of the other plus sides of the episode being in animation is that, again, we get to see more spaceships. In fact, we get to see, well, not quite spaceships, but we get to see shuttlecraft, lots of them. We get to see the Enterprise hanging deck, and there are so many different types of shuttlecraft. It's glorious. I'm really hoping that you've gone anal about shuttlecrafts on this one. The only real question and confusion about the episode is just what the fuck were Kirk and Spock up to in the start of the episode when they rescue Mud from those miners. Yes, they rescue him from the miners when they realise that they've been had, but Kirk and Spock then proceed to shoot the fucking road up. And what's that about? What's that about? They don't just beam up. No, they destroy the entire street area so the miners can't get to them. That's, yeah, so much for non-interference. Yeah, much? Yeah, anyway, that was a little bit dodgy. That aside, it wasn't too bad as I was expecting. So is this canon or is it balls? I mean, I've already said that these episodes are going to be canon anyway because, it's Star Trek on TV. As I said, this does align with Strange New Worlds with Chapel's portrayal, and at the very least, at least in terms of it being a good or bad episode, just imagine what this story would have been like if it had actually been in live action, padded out to a whole 50 minutes, and having actual real live actors being made to fall in love, yes, be abused, in all varieties of different ways. So yeah, this would have been a hell of a lot more cringy in live action. So yeah, I'm going to go with it being canon. So as ever, I'll be looking forward to finding out what everyone else made of this. I hope everyone else manages to stay away from dodgy street vendors selling dodgy cures. And until next time, glory to you and your cast.
You're right, this would have been worse in live action with real people having their drinks spiked. So that's what it is, really, isn't it? It's spiking, or it's GHB. It's something that makes you kind of forget who you are, really, because you...
Particularly if you're a pink lizard for some reason.
Yeah. what would they have done with that in live action?
I dread to think.
Spray painted an iguana?
No, they would spray painted a poodle pink.
Oh.
Giving it some dealy boppers. That's literally what they did in the first season, wasn't it?
Yes,
so.
yeah. Well, it wasn't pink, though, was it?
No, but
yeah,
in keeping, because the animator likes pink.
Yeah.
And Kirk and Spock shooting up the street is just completely out of order.
Doesn't make any sense. It's not even given an explanation.
Well, it's supposedly to stop the miners getting to them, but it's just rubbish and completely illegal if they've got no jurisdiction. You can't just shoot the street up. I mean, it's outrageous.
And also, won't the beam up save them?
Well, it did. I think the point was that it would... The bits gave them time to be beamed up, so the miners didn't get to them and throw stones at them in the in-between time, but... It's still outrageous, I'm sorry.
It is, absolutely. I don't disagree at all.
I would expect the Federation to be sued about that.
Yeah.
And, be made to pay for repairs to all the potholes on the planet.
Whereas, on the other hand, however bad the love potion is in terms of making someone... And also, no wonder they're so fucking angry afterwards.
Yes. Well, when it wears off.
When it wears off, because, you know, they didn't consent to it. They don't necessarily really like the person.
I do rather think, not only is this the 1970s where such things, sadly, were probably slightly more acceptable, but also it's a kiddie series, so it's like, it's just like, oh, this character's in love with the other one, how sweet. It's like, no, in no sense will that work in real life, but anyway.
No, but at least our heroes all agree it's, well, apart from Chapel, who's being an idiot, but that's they agree it's bad.
So Chapel actually goes and uses it.
That's just
that
awful.
is bad.
Yeah. But then love potions in folklore and that were a big thing that you
It's in that tradition, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, particularly in children, ironically, in children's sort of fables and tales. So, yeah, we have moved on since then, and that's good, but I think it filed that under it was acceptable in the 70s, basically.
Yeah. And did you like all the shuttlecrafts? Did we get?
Yeah, I say there was at least 3 different designs. We saw at least 6 shuttlecraft in the massive shuttle bay. Suddenly, it's not, again, animated series showing us bits of the Enterprise. All right, we have seen the shuttle bay before, but it literally had 1 shuttle in it before. This is like, yes, this is what I want to see. Different designs, the whole shuttle bay full. Excellent stuff.
Do you know why they didn't give it a name?
No, that is weird. I mean, unless it was just... it could either be they forgot that shuttlecrafts had names by the animated series, or it could be that they decided this particular type of shuttle, which is supposed to be a beefy landing craft, wouldn't have a name. Okay. I mean, going forwards into... You know, the next gen, they gave them names, didn't they? I'm not sure. No, some of them just have like the... Enterprise D registry number on them, don't they? I think it's the bigger ones like the Runabout class that get names after rivers and stuff.
So maybe it's a size thing. It has to be a certain size to get a name.
And lower decks, the shuttles are related to California, aren't they? Yeah. I think in the same.
Because it's a California class.
Yeah. Because we're sitting there going, "What the hell's that?" And you look it up on Google. Oh, it's something in California. Okay, fine. Anyway, we're not talking about lower decks now either, sadly. Next up, we hear from Purry.
Hello, Args. Purry here, recording from inside a weird booth thing we got in my office for doing phone calls and stuff. Yeah, sneaking in some work time and doing some stuff. Look at me being a rebel. Anyway, here to talk about Mudd's passion, because apparently we all want to do that. Don't really want to talk about Harry Mudd's passions, if I'm honest. That seems awful. But yeah, another character coming back, and I think I was happier to see Cyrano Jones, if I'm honest. I don't think we really needed Harry Mudd back. But, nonetheless, they are trying for sort of a farcical episode, and, well, for starters, an episode had both rock monsters and heavy metal miners and not one ripping guitar solo, so I was disappointed already. But yeah, the idea is Mudd's here, and he's got a love potion which he fools Chapel into using so that she can fulfill her unrequited love with Spock. And we get this really unusual idea that, can you imagine if like Spock was like really obsessed over Chapel to the point that it was affecting his work? I mean, that would just be mad. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine anyone ever doing that for like a series or so. But yeah, so it's actually probably where, if you were going to start disputing the canonicity of this, and like I say, I do not for the animated series, you would say that it really doesn't fit Strange New Worlds, that Chapel's like, I want Spock to love me again, that I'm going to use it. Well, I want Spock to love me and I'm going to use a special love potion, when a lot of the stuff could be, it now really doesn't gel with what we've seen in Strange New Worlds, but that's not its fault. No one making the animated series knew that we're going to get Strange New Worlds. And yeah, it's meant to be sort of almost like a comedy. It's not quite a sex farce, but it's in that territory of eventually you've got lots of people falling in love with each other. You've got the I'm sure, I don't know, would a child have found it funny that they're trying to beam up but everyone's just dancing and hugging? I don't know, maybe. I did quite like the after effect of the drug, that yes, you got this sort of brief period of absolute obsessive love, and then you get an utter sort of dislike, although it wasn't clearly said. Initially it was just everyone seemed hungover, and initially my first thought was actually just, oh, they're hungover. I can get that, you're hungover from this, you've been having a nice time and then you're waking up and hungover. And yes, people who you found funny when you were drunk it can be quite annoying when you meet them sober, particularly with a hangover. But no, they actually said it was something the drug gave. But then you have that kind of weird Harry Mudd ending. So yeah, where you're almost staring into the camera, and it's I think they keep trying to make him this lovable rogue, and I've always just found him vaguely skeevy. So yeah, it's not a particularly good one, this, to be honest. And there's an awful lot of running around with big rock monsters going. Rah, rah. We do get to see some nice shuttles. They decided not to make all the shuttles look the same, which, while not necessarily sensible, does mean we get a whole of neat little shuttles to appear. But yeah, overall, it's not just that it doesn't gel with Strange New Worlds. It just doesn't really work. I suppose it's comedy, and in this case, the humour didn't hit for me. So hopefully it hit for other people and they had fun with it, because I really hope someone found joy in this, but I personally didn't. So it is balls, but it's still canon, because it's all canon. So all it remains to say is do keep up with the good work. I always look forward to the podcast, and I'll hopefully feedback in the next one. But until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. So is skeevy a Scottish word?
I have heard it before, and I think used by United Statesians, interestingly.
Okay.
I don't think it's a particularly English phrase, though.
No, I've not come across it before I heard you say it fairly recently, and I suspect you picked it up from Purry. That's why I wondered
possibly,
whether it was...
or a United Statesian at some point. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's a good phrase, though.
It's a very good word.
Does what it says on the tin, doesn't it?
The shape it makes you make with your mouth is kind of a disgust shape.
Yeah.
So it's a really, it's a good word, but I don't think I've heard a United Statesian say it. I think I've only ever heard it said by Scottish people.
There we go. Well, maybe that's the case.
It's a good word, though. I
Yes,
like it.
definitely.
I will start using it.
And we like you recording from the inside of a washing machine. That was awesome.
No, it's one of those work booths. And I'm wondering, are his work booths the same as mine? There was a sort of humming noise in the background.
Yeah.
Right, so the ones at my work, they all smell really strongly. If you know that window cleaner that's really vinegary.
No, but okay.
Well, so there's a particular
really
vinegary window cleaner or glass cleaner. They all smell of that so strongly that when you get in, you have to turn on these little fans. They're a bit like the little air jets you get in coaches and on flights, but they're noisy. But you can't possibly be in one of these without the fans on because of the horrible stench of vinegar, unless you open the door of the booth, in which case everyone can hear your conversation. And it's pointless being in one. So you have to be in the booth either stinking of vinegar and coping or with the fans on. And I'm wondering whether you've got smelly vinegar booths like we have in my work.
I must admit, I love the imagining Purry's co-workers looking at him in the booth and thinking, what secret conversation is he happening in there?
Yeah.
Is he actually an international spy or something? No, he's recording feedback for a Star Trek podcast.
Whereas now, because I've got colleagues who use those booths all the time, whenever I see a colleague in a booth, I'm thinking, which podcast are you feeding back to?
Yeah, we didn't need Mud back, and he is indeed skeevy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It gets worse in Discovery. It gets murderous to begin with.
Well, he gets better, though.
Yeah, that short trek
is good.
The best Mud has ever been. But he was murderous to start with in Discovery. And yeah, he's just shabby in the original series, and we didn't need him back. But there we go.
No. And that you're right, Purry, this doesn't fit with Strange New Worlds in terms of the character of Chapel. Chapel would not be fawning this dumb and fawning and blech.
Plus, she's already gone out with him, so I don't know. It's not the animated series' fault that Strange New World is inserting stuff into Trek lore that
it's not, but it is animated series' fault for writing Chapel this badly when that isn't justified by what was in the original series.
Yeah, we don't need her being an idiot. That's just silly.
No.
I like the idea there are different shuttles for different uses. It's almost like Thunderbirds, really.
Ooh.
You take shuttle number 1 because it's the fast one, or shuttle number 2 is good for carrying stuff, and shuttle number 4 goes underwater. Well, maybe not.
Why not?
Yeah, it'd have to be a very specific use you had for that shuttle. Then again, of course, we find out in the JJ verse that all spaceships can go underwater because they're designed
JJ
for
verse
high pressure.
it's the Kelvin timeline where it's all shit and fucked up anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh God, sorry, she's guffed again.
Dang.
Oh man.
And I don't find it funny either, but it is pretty silly, and I did laugh a lot, not because it was funny.
I laughed at that
ridiculous.
fucking lizard. I mean,
and when the rock monsters come on, it's like, oh my life,
what is that?
Oh, and the crew dancing.
Yeah, the dancing. It's just so silly.
But I don't think it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be funny. I'm not sure, but
it was the jerkiness of the animation of the dancing. It was just ridiculous. And
Reminded me of Trumpton. I don't know why.
Yes.
You remember when they used to have the dance in Trumpton?
Yeah.
And they'd move in that very
That's
jerky...
exactly that sort of movement, yes. No pink lizards in Trumpton, though.
No, they were sensible in Trumpton. No love in Trumpton either, for that matter, but that's not a bad thing.
Now, was it Trumpton or Camberwick Green where the woman had the 4 dogs?
I can't remember. They all merged into one because it was a cinematic universe, before they were a thing.
Trumpton, Camberwick Green, and
Chigley.
Yes.
Chigley was the one they didn't show so often, but I think it was my favourite.
Is that the one that's time flies by when
you're driving a train? Yes, that's right. And the canal boat. And I think that may have been the one with the dancing as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I want to watch some Chigley. I wonder if it's on YouTube. Anyways, got a bit of time before Taskmaster. Let's watch some Chigley.
We know how to live.
Yeah, we know how to party in this house, I tell you. Chigley night. Maybe that could be a podcast if it is on YouTube. Total Chigley. Borgcast Chigley.
God. Are we really going to get people watching fucking Chigley? What the fuck are you on?
I want to watch Chigley.
You're
the world
tired.
has made me want to watch Chigley. Well, it's not just the tiredness, actually. It's a good way of escaping the darkness of the world, isn't it? It's escape to Chigley. Which now sounds like a really shit film. It's the sequel to Escape from New York. Escape to Chigley.
And now I want to see a claymation Kurt Russell.
Okay, before we watch Chigley, let me tell you what the next episode we're covering on. And apologies again for the snores of the dog, which must have been appalling all the way through this. But
not as bad as her farts.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Yeah, you've been spared that. But she has had a long day, bless her. On the 2nd of October, we shall be watching, ooh, this sounds good, the Magicks of Megas-Tu. 2, that's T-U rather than the number.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe it's got Paul Daniels in it, Whizbit.
This way, that way.
That doesn't make it any better, does it?
No, it makes it worse. And no, we're not doing a fucking Whizbit podcast.
No, I would not suggest doing it. Only for perhaps a Halloween special or something. And the 25th of September, next week, on Babelorg 5, we shall be covering the War Prayer, which you do not want to have any hints about.
No.
I will tell you. There's a bit of a spoiler, though.
No, don't then.
It's good.
Yep, fine.
But... You'd be relieved to hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, until the next time we're talking stroke snoring into your ears, cheery bye.
Thank you everyone who's fed back. Bye.
The theme for Star Trek The Animated Series was written by Ray Ellis and Norm Prescott.
Any music used in this podcast is for illustrative purposes only, and no copyright infringement is intended.
Find our website at borgcast.libsyn.com.
We have a Facebook group which you're welcome to join.
Send emails or MP3s to borgcast@gmail.com.
Find us on Blue Sky at broadcastammo.bsky.social
and revorg.bsky.social.
Shut it down!